What is going on in the webs? This is the capture the flag. Let's call it capture the rooster, but it's CTF. This is just some gameplay of it. I'm gonna talk throughout the entire thing and offer my opinion on the overall game type and changes that I feel should have happened. Is purely opinion based, but you'll see what I mean in a minute, maybe. Okay, so the game type is CTF, capture the flag, or capture the rooster, as it's put in here because it's the year of the rooster. Which, I mean, I guess they could have put a rooster instead of a fucking flag, but I think there's a rooster on the flag, yeah. CTF being like one of the most core objective game types in any kind of game, whether it be first-person shooter or what have you, it only makes natural sense that Overwatch would add it as a game type. But the reason being that it's only for an event and not the entire time is because some heroes have a distinct advantage, and CTF goes back years, like back to Quake and the first Dooms and Halo and Call of Duty. Maybe Battlefield. I don't know if they've started doing CTF. I don't know about Battlefield 1 because I haven't played it. But CTF at its core is one of the most basic and kind of most used and most recognized objective-based game types. So like I said, it makes perfect sense that Overwatch being the objective-based game that it is, you know, because you got payloads and all this other shit and capturing points, that they would add it. But the problem with the game mode for this game, adding CTF to Overwatch, and even true for the newest CODs, you know, is the movement. Especially in Overwatch, when some heroes have a distinct advantage when it comes to this type of game type. Most notably Sombra. She can turn invisible, and while she's invisible, she can run super fast and cover a huge distance in a short amount of time. Now, there's a counter to every single hero. The strong counter to Sombra, especially on this game type, is Symmetra, which is overused as fuck in this game type. Every single game I've played since this event has started, there's always been at least one Symmetra, if not two, one on either side. Now, she's a strong counter to Sombra, and so is Torbjorn for that matter. I can hear him tinkering away. Their turrets auto-lock on to anyone, whether they're invisible or not. So, even if Sombra runs into your CTF zone, invisible, she's still gonna get targeted by the turrets. So you're gonna know she's there, and when she gets hit, she's not invisible anymore. But the thing is, if you've wiped the team, and she can run in there unhindered and take out the turrets, and can somehow manage to obscure the line of sight for Torbjorn's turret, she can capture the flag by herself, turn invisible, and run. Now, her invisibility doesn't count for shit when she's holding the flag, because she's on the screen at all times while holding the flag. But until she's hit, she still has that speed boost. And not only that, she has a teleporter, so she could throw that teleporter across the map. And these are short maps to begin with. It's on Lijiang Tower, which is the comm center, the garden, and fuck, I forget the other one. But I mean, she can cover that distance in no time, which is true for most of them, for most of the heroes. The problem is that the movement system in general is over the top for a lot of the heroes. Not only Sombra, but D.Va has that jetpack thing. Speaking of jetpacks, you got Pharah. You know, you could wipe out an entire team with D.Va's nuke, and Pharah could flop in, pick up the flag, and then, as she puts it, jet out of there, you know? It makes the game very one-sided, so to speak, but there are some good defensive counters to every single capturer, I guess you should say. Any capper, there's a strong counter, a really strong counter in CTF right now is Bastion. I've changed positions on Bastion, and you'll see me do it several times in this gameplay here. I just changed positions. I wait in one position till they try to take the flag. I gun them all down. I change position again, wait for them to run in again, and I just keep repeating the process. But the main problem with this is that there's such a strong counter to almost every single offense that unless your team is making a huge play for the flag, most games end up in a draw every single fucking time. I've had more draws than wins, which I guess is going to make sense. But when you're trying to go for those loot crates for winning 3 games, you get a loot crate. Win 3 more games, you get a loot crate. Yeah, hi, Junkrat. Win 3 more games, you get a loot crate. When you're trying to get those wins, it's just really frustrating, especially when there are achievements, which I don't know if it's just my achievements that glitched, but there are achievements for this game mode, at least 2 that I know of. One for returning your flag, and then one for winning a game 3-0. Your team captures 3 flags, the enemy team captures none. Which, I managed to actually get a really good team that made some really strong plays, and we managed to actually get 3 caps to 0. So there's at least 2 achievements. I don't know if mine just glitched and they didn't show up, but I kept looking for achievements for this game type, this event, and they never showed up in the list. The only ones that were event-based were the Halloween and Christmas event achievements. And I didn't see the CTF ones, but they popped when I got them, but they're not in the list. So I don't know if there's just 2 or if there's more. If it's just the 2, then there's no incentive for you to capture flags other than going 3-0. Which, if you have a really decent team, you could just stay on defense, which, honestly, I've come across teams that couldn't defend the flag for shit. So I typically roll defense to keep our flag safe. Unless I just get ganked hardcore because my entire team just got wiped, and then the entire enemy team comes in. Or the enemy team makes a super strong play. Super strong plays being, what I've noticed a lot is a Lucio gives his team a speed boost, and a Winston, a Reinhardt, and a D.Va, the dream team, I guess, they all sprint in there, and there's might be another healer, I don't know, or there might be 2 damage dealers, but the Reinhardt, the Winston, the Lucio, and the D.Va just speed boost straight into your objective before you can get to it, straight to your flag. And the Winston throws down his bubble shield, which absorbs a shit ton of damage right off the bat. All this time they're capturing the flag. Here's my POG. But the entire time they're capturing the point, Winston's shield goes down, Reinhardt throws his up. He's in front of the pack, so he's absorbing all the bullets. So the enemy team is still taking the objective, taking your flag, and Reinhardt's shield will go down almost instantly if your entire team is shooting. Once his shield is down, D.Va pops up to the front of the group, and she throws down her left trigger, the ballistic shield, the energy shield, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and that absorbs all damage in a certain cone. And as long as your team is bunched up in the cone, none of them take the hits. So whoever takes the flag immediately hauls ass away. If it's the D.Va, she can turn on a dime. Her mech has taken no damage at this point. She can turn on a dime, and she can use her boost to get the hell out of dodge. And then, if Lucio's still alive, he can boost her even more with his speed boost. So when she doesn't have her, I don't know what you call it, jump pack, jump jet, whatever. When she doesn't have that, the Lucio is boosting her. Or if Lucio has it, he has a fucking speed boost naturally. And he's a squirrely fucker, so he can bounce all over the place. By this point, Winston's bubble shield is probably back up, so he can cover Lucio. And so on and so forth. If it's Reinhardt, he's got his, I don't know, charge attack. So, and if, well, if it for the just for the full coverage, if it's Winston, he can jump out. But it's big plays like that that actually get people flags, and I don't know. It's a fun game type, and to have this actually come to Overwatch, it's a fun experience. And the fireworks going off in the distance, and you can hear them popping, and you can actually shoot the fireworks on the maps, and they actually go off. It's fun, and it's interesting. It's nice to have CTF in Overwatch, but more often than not, and I guess this is why this is not an actual game mode, is that it often ends in a draw, and constantly drawing is just boring. It's uneventful, it's boring. If you're not purely defending, you're running out there trying to get a flag, and if it's heavily defended with like turrets, a bastion, who knows what, if it's heavily defended, you're just constantly running out there, saving Private Ryan style, and getting gunned down by turrets. And that's not fun. That gets boring and frustrating, and you just hate your life. So, I can understand this as just a event-based game type, because if this was in the full game, it would be so uninteresting and people would not like it. As an event, yeah, people like it. It's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. And you get loot boxes if you somehow manage to win 9 games. Well, 3, 3, 3. And I've managed to win 6 because I somehow managed to get some decent teams that I could actually capture a flag. But for the most part, it's not just that the team sucks, it's just that it ends in a fucking draw. Because it's just like 2 walls, or 2 rams bumping heads. It gets nowhere. So it's just uneventful and boring and drawn out, and you just... It's not fun. It's not fun. I mean, it's fun because it's fresh and exciting, but constantly getting draws, that gets old real quick. So you find yourself going back to quick play, or you find yourself playing something else like random heroes or 3v3, just so you can actually get a win for a loot box for the event. So you don't have to grind out levels or spend money on crates. But that's just my opinion. I mean, it's a good, fun game type. It's a good idea. It's a core objective-based game type. And it's nice that they added it to Overwatch. But for Overwatch, it's just not a good game type. Because if it doesn't end in a draw, it's a miracle. It really is. It's just boring a little bit, just constantly drawing. But again, that's my opinion. Some people like it, some people hate it, some people think it's boring like I do. But for an event thing, it's fresh, it's new, it's kind of exciting. But that's it for me. Drop a like if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I will see you later.